guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be my Pan That Palette video featuring the Jaclyn Hill palette. So I'm going to kind of update you guys and tell you guys a little bit about my experience for the month that I've been using this palette every single day. And you guys are also going to be able to see my everyday look featuring this look. So if you guys want to see more about the palette, how I've been doing, and as well as my everyday look, then please keep watching. First thing with this palette, I feel like I really haven't had that much progress, just because I feel like these pans and the eyeshadow formula is a lot more like tougher, if that makes sense. So it's harder to kind of hit pan unless you use this palette like 3 times a day or something. Like if you were to like constantly be changing your makeup throughout the day, like doing a look, then taking it off, and then washing off, and then doing another look. I've been using this palette every single day for the past month since my last video, and I've only almost hit pan on these 2 shadows as well as almost this one. I'm starting to see it go down a little bit, but for the most part, like I said, I haven't had that much progress with this palette. I feel like if I would have chosen like a Macbook Pro palette or something like that, those shadows tend to be more thinner, I feel like. So as soon as you dip your brush into the pan, like it just makes so much fallout, and I feel like that's how people hit pan on them easier. But I feel like for the most part, I think throughout the 6 months of me going to be panning this palette, I hit pan on some of the shimmery shades first, just because I feel like the shimmery shades are more fallout prone. I do use the shimmery shades way more than I use the other. Use another palette, but to just open this palette up and use some of the shimmery shades in here. But yeah, I have been using this palette every single day. There's days that I don't use the whole entire palette, like I will use some of the crease colors and then throw in, another shimmery shade on top of the lid from another palette, or I will use, another palette and then use some of the colors from here. Or there's some days like my everyday look where I just use this palette. It just really depends. Sometimes it does get a little boring using the same palette every single day, but for the most part, like I've been doing my best to try to use it every single day just so I can use this palette up. But yeah, that is so far my process of using this palette. Hopefully next month will be a little bit better and I will hit pan on it more, but this is just like my month update with the Jaclyn Hill palette. But I do have a look featuring this look right here, which is my everyday more easy look to do. So if you guys are interested, then please keep watching. We're gonna go ahead and get started. I already did my skincare and my brows off camera because it's the same thing every single time. I feel like you guys will get bored if I keep doing my brows and my skincare because I've already shown it to you guys. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with the actual makeup. Start off with the eyes with Ochre by MAC, and this is the same thing I do in every single tutorial, so I'm going to go ahead and speed this up a little bit. I'm going to take the Jaclyn Hill palette. So the results of this, to be honest, haven't gotten like far at all. The color that I've been using, of course, is the transition shades, and I feel like I'm kind of slowly starting to hit pan on those, but on the rest of the shades it's kind of hard because I normally on a day-to-day basis don't really use the shimmery colors, which I'm going to show you guys my everyday kind of look with this palette in just a second. But for the most part, I'm starting to hit pan on these 2, which is super exciting because I do really want to just, hit pan on pretty much all the shadows. And I feel like this is another one that's starting to kind of go down. But yeah, that's the progress I have so far. So to be honest, it's not nothing too exciting just yet, but I have been using the palette every single day. There's some days that I will, do the transition shades and all that stuff and then just put like a different shimmery color from another palette. Or sometimes I'll use just the shimmery colors and then use another palette. But for the most part, I've been using this palette every single day, especially for this look that I'm about to show you guys. The look that I've been wearing this for like an everyday kind of look. And right now I'm just setting my eyes with, airspun powder. Just so that our eyeshadows can blend better. But yeah, I've been using this palette every day, and the look that I'm going to show you guys, I've been wearing that more on an everyday basis, especially whenever I work in the morning. I like to wear this look because it still looks glam, but it doesn't look like too much and too over the top. What I'm going to take is this one right here. It's kind of hard to show you guys this palette without like touching all the shadows, but I'm going to take this color right here, and I'm going to take a big fluffy brush. So this is the second row, at the beginning of the row, and I'm going to load that up on my brush, and I'm going to take this right on the outer corners, and then I'm going to blend it up towards the crease. And I'm just going to kind of like just blend this everywhere because this is going to be more of like a transition shade, and I am not neat with this at all, but I do like to mainly focus this more in the crease like this, and then kind of just like blend it up towards the brow. I think it's called like Teddy Bear or something like that. And I'm going to take this on a Morphe M433 brush, and it's very similar to the MAC 412 brush, if you guys have that one, but I personally like the Morphe one. I just feel like it's a lot softer. So I'm going to take that color, and I'm just going to mainly focus this on the outer corners and kind of bring it up towards the crease. For that, I'm going to take just the brush, no product on the brush, and I'm going to kind of blend those two colors together and blend more at the top where the brow bone starts to start. If you want, you could take any of these colors. You could take the gold color, put it on your lid, whatever you really want to do. Sometimes I leave it like this, or sometimes I will just, you know, throw one of these light shimmery shades on top. For an everyday, like, easy look, I just like to leave it like this and then, you know, do the rest of my face makeup. So what I'm going to be taking is the Too Faced Primed and Peachy Cooling Matte Primer. I used my first tube of this completely up. I absolutely loved it, and my mom actually gave me hers because she wasn't using it. So I was like, you know what, girl, I'm gonna take that and I'm going to be using this primer again. I'm still going to be using my Maybelline Baby Skin just to help with pores. So the Too Faced one obviously helps with mattifying the skin. Then the Baby Skin just helps with the pores. So I like to put the matte one on first and then put the pore eraser on top. I feel like a pore primer makes such a difference. I cannot do my makeup without using some kind of pore primer or serum or something to help with the pores. And I really love the Baby Skin for, you know, a cheaper alternative, but I'm going to be using my CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous foundation, and I've actually used this whole thing up, but there still is some in here, so we're gonna just try to use this up because I do have some other foundations that I am going to be trying for you guys, but this one is like one of my favorites and I will be repurchasing this, but I just want to try different stuff, you know. But I really like this one for being a drugstore foundation. And after that, I'm going to be taking my Tarte Shape Tape. You know, I've been loving this recently, and I actually did repurchase this, so I've been really loving this concealer. But I'm going to apply this underneath the eyes and also down the center of the nose and the center of the forehead just to highlight. And then I'm going to be taking my sponge just to blend it out. It's so damn hot in here. I'm like sweating so bad. I'm going to take some Airspun powder and I'm going to set my under eye area, and as well as anywhere else that we put the concealer. And I'm also going to focus it right here where the pores are. If you don't already like set your face with a sponge and a powder, then I highly recommend you getting a loose powder, something like this. My favorite is Airspun because I think it just looks flawless on somebody that has oily skin or dry skin. I think this powder is actually for all skin types, but just putting it right where the pores are just help like make the skin look really flawless. And I've been doing this for like years now, so I really like doing it. You can do the whole face. Sometimes I do the whole face, sometimes I don't. It just really depends. Sometimes I do go back over with a powder brush on the rest of the face because I don't really get oily anywhere else besides like my T-zone, so it's really kind of pointless. I'm going to be taking my bronzer and I'm going to bronze my face, and I'm going to be taking the same SLMISSGLAM. I've been really loving is taking the bronzer on the fan brush and then just like doing the sides of my nose like this and going up towards the brow. I feel like it just helps sculpt the nose better. And then I like to go back in with some powder and some of the powder on the sponge, and I just like to press this like this and like let it bake. And then I like to go back in and like bake right here. And I like to leave this on there so like it really just helps brighten up that area, and it also helps set it a little better. And it helps like clean up where I bronze. I like to take it right here on the sides of where we contoured, because that's gonna just like really clean it up. You could take any blush. I'm just taking this one by Tarte called Royal. Go back to the eyes, and I'm going to be using this color Teddy Bear and this color, mixing those two together, and I'm going to put this right underneath the eyes. Brush like this, and I'm going to go back in with the transition kind of color that we use, these two right here, and I'm going to blend that underneath the eyes. A smaller brush, and I'm just going to dust all this off. I like to leave this setting for too long because then it kind of looks too dry, so I like to just like set it there while I do the under eyes of our eyes. I'm gonna wet my brush with some Fix Plus. This is actually a newer item in my collection as well. I was gonna wait to like try this on camera, but I was running out of my other one and I needed to use this because I only had one Fix Plus and it was like literally down to the bottom and I used it all, so I needed to open this and use it. But this is the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus, and this is the coconut one. I've been wanting to try this for such a long time, but to be honest, I still prefer the original just because like this doesn't have a different scent. Like the other scent is more stronger, the original. This one I could barely even smell it, to be honest. Like I can't smell it at all actually. It's like a very, very light, faint coconut smell, so I would still recommend the original more than that. I want to try the other ones, but for now I think I'm just going to stay with the original. Highlighter, this is Sun Dip by Anastasia. We did already wet our brush, but I'm going to be using the color Summer and Moonstone and mixing those two colors together. These are pretty much the only two highlighters I use out of this palette just because the rest of them are a little too dark. But I'm going to apply this to the cheeks. Just going to be taking some mascara, and we aren't going to apply false lashes today just because this is like an everyday kind of look that I like doing. So I am going to be taking my Almay mascara, and this is what the wand looks like. It's actually a really good mascara, and I'm going to coat my top lashes and as well as my bottom lashes. And I like to kind of build this up a little more whenever I'm not going to be wearing fake eyelashes. Okay, and then after that I'm going to be mixing two liquid lipsticks together. This is the Meet Matte Hudgens by the Balm Cosmetics and the color Committed. This is actually one of my favorite colors of all time. So I'm going to be applying this to our lips first, and then I'm going to apply the other one on top. And if you want, you can leave the liquid lipstick like this. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It just really depends. Sometimes I feel like it's a little bit bold just for the eye look that we're doing, but I think it still looks pretty, but I just want to make it a little bit more nude. So I'm going to be throwing this liquid lipstick on top, which is called Pure Hollywood, and this is from Anastasia. Okay, so that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys really enjoyed this Pan That Palette video and me showing you my everyday look. If you guys do like these videos, don't forget to give me a huge thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and of course don't forget to hit the little bell down below. That way you guys can be notified every single time I upload. I do upload Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. so make sure that you are subscribed and hitting that notification bell so you guys can stay updated with my future videos. But yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!